This is how I received my 27.1, or actually it's 271. 271. This is how I received the package. I already opened it because I had to, and I'll explain to you here in a second why. But here's a picture of it before I opened it. And I posted that picture, a 10th Gen Performance page on Facebook. And then 2 minutes later, I received a phone call from 271 asking me, you know, hey, I saw your post. I just want to go over it and make sure you got everything. Can you believe that? 2 minutes? 2 minutes later. I will definitely be buying more performance mods from 271. Probably the turbo eventually down the road sometime. But alright, I'm going to get to work, get this installed, take it for a spin, because I have not been able to give this car full throttle in months. And I'll show you why here in a little bit. Alright, so we're going to get started here. As you can see, we are going to be replacing this bad boy right here, this right here, with a 271 hose. Should be interesting. So what we got here is we have, as you can see, you saw the box there at the beginning, but so we have the inlet pipe itself, we have gaskets, an O-ring gasket, another clamp, and then another rubber piece flat gasket, some studs, some bolts, another bracket, 2 little rings, a big O-ring, and then 3 hoses. And then the tools we're going to need are 10mm socket with a 13mm deep well, 13mm deep well. You can use any kind of pliers you want. I just chose these pliers. And then this baby to get the hoses off. I always got a Phillips and a flathead handy, and that should be all the tools we need for this job. Unfortunately, I tried to download the instructions off of 27.1 or 271. I can't stop that. It's habit. 271. The app you're supposed to download. Unfortunately, I can't. There's an error. It's not working. So I'm just gonna wing it. See what happens. Maybe check out a couple other YouTube videos on the install. I already did check out a couple of them. There's only like 3 or 4, and that's kind of why I'm doing this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get started. All right, we're gonna start by taking these clamps off here, because we're gonna be replacing this hose with a 271 hose, so we can remove this PRL one. Like I said, I don't have any instructions, so I'm going to be doing this all off of what I think's right. So should be fun. That was easy. Knew that was going to be easy. That was the easiest part. Let's go back to the 10 mil. Actually, what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to get this out of the way. Get a couple of these things out of the way here, so I have a little bit more room to work. Pliers. Well, I'm going to remove all the hoses first. I'm going to attempt to remove all the hoses first. She's warm. She's cold. She's cooled off now, so I had to let her sit for a little while. She was pretty warm, and I don't want to do it warm. I don't want to burn myself. So, all right, got that. I got to remove that whole thing because the other pipe or the other hose comes the whole way out like that. So that's good. Now I have to remove this one. I just tell. Now I'm going to leave all the hoses I can on here and not remove ones that I do not need to remove. So I don't know if I need to remove that one or not. Don't think I need to remove that one. I'm gonna try my best to mess around in here without removing any of these. Now what I do with bolts and screws and such, in fact I'll start right here. How I pull them is how I put them back in. So I start here, I work my way across, and then I put them back in the same way I took them out. So you don't forget any, or you don't lose any. All right. Now. Now, a lot of people do this shit I don't understand. Put them like that so it's easier to get to. Like that. So those should be good. So I got those two. I got this one. I don't know if I need to remove this one or not. I don't think I do. I think that can stay. I don't think I gotta remove that one. I know I got the bypass valve here, those, but I don't think I have to remove them either, because they come right off with the, or am I gonna have to get to the turbo? Again, I don't have the manual. All right guys, sorry I got the hose off. I had to take you down because the camera kept falling over, so, because I was shaking the car so bad. So I got that off. I also found there was another 10-inch or 10 millimeter here, so there was two. So that loosened that up. I'm gonna wait till I actually get the thing out before I actually pull that out of there. So let's see here, what else we got? So now I got the bypass valve off. See that there's two bolts down under here, which I'm going to attempt to get right now. Wow, that's really bad. That is cracked really bad. Woo. I'd be really interested to see what that looks like when I get it out. Even when I get it out. Oh man. Got a pretty cool looking rainbow going on here. Pretty neat. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. It's already, I've already been at this for too long and gotten not that far, so we need to get a hop in here. So let's get cranking. All right, so I loosened up the upper right bolt. I got out the bottom right bolt, so I got to get out the upper left and the bottom left. All right, I was able to get the bottom. I don't know if there's 4 or 3. I think there's only 3. So I'm gonna try to pull it out once I get this through. I gotta pull this off. I gotta pull, this is already off. I gotta pull a couple more lines off, but I think after that she should come out. I don't know about this. I think I gotta pull this off too. I'm not sure. But so obviously the ratchet's there. Let me get my trusty magnet because I have a feeling this is going to be needed. Oops, don't need that, but all right, I'll be back once I'm done getting those out because this is going to be tough. It's probably going to be a little while. So all right, I got that one. I had to get it with this. I had to loosen it up just enough so it wouldn't come out, grab it with the magnet and pull it out, because you're gonna drop it if you don't. So always have a magnet with you when you're doing this job. In fact, you should always have one with you anyway when you're working under a hood, just in case you do drop something. But this job, you definitely want a magnet. On to hopefully the last one. It's pretty loose, but it's not like as loose as it should be. You think if every bolt was out, so I mean, there probably is another one. I just don't know where. So I'm just gonna pull these hoses and go from there. All right, we got another bolt. I found it. It's kind of off the beating path, but it's right here. I'm pretty sure. Oh. Well, remember how I said it was cracked? That's how cracked it was. That is how bad it was. Look at that. Wow. I can't believe I was driving around on that and something catastrophic didn't happen. Wow. And I barely pulled on it. I don't know if there's any fixing that. But, hey, that'll make it easier for me to get to where I need to get to. I think. Now. Hell yeah, it makes it a lot easier. Sit it right there for the moment. See? I had to remove the dipstick just to get the fucker out. Or, I had to remove the dipstick to get it out. Shouldn't have swore. Sorry. I might have to bleep a couple things here in this video, but woo! And she's out. Look at that. Now, how did that break? And that seal here was just broken. So the channel here was just shit. And I couldn't go over 4,000 RPMs. I could only go 3/4 throttle. I actually put my K counter to 1.3 twice. So I'm glad this is gone now. And let's get this new one on here. So this is the difference between the two. I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, look at that thing, how small that is. Look how big this is. It's pretty crazy, the difference. I really wish the app would let me download the instructions. Still saying I can't get it. In fact, I'll show you here. I'll try to pull it up. Watch it prove me a liar, which I'd be happy with. Prove me a liar, please. So here I am. Go to performance installs, 27.1 installation. Well, this is embarrassing. An error occurred while trying to load contact from our service. Try again. And I just keep trying and it doesn't do anything. This wire, I think this is the wire I'm gonna have to crimp. I think. Well, not crimp, but I'm gonna have to do something with this. I'm not sure what or why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bypass valve on. I'm going to look and see which ones, and I think I know which ones. I think it's these two short ones here that they go through, and then these long bolts go through here. And I think those other two are just to help you put it on. Easier installation. So we're going to do that right now. Alright, so what we need to do here is we need to take these off. We're going to put them in the two smaller holes right where the intercooler mounts. I already got the one in, and you're going to put the short end in first, and it'll stop right here so that it'll help you put the inlet pipe on, and it'll have it sit there, and then you use the nuts to tighten it down. So you're not going to reuse the bolts that you took out for the factory one, and then you're going to use the two long ones for down here and down here. In fact, this is going to be nothing. There's nothing that even mounts to. So, all right, well, she is in. So the video didn't work out like I was hoping it would have. I ran out of battery. It took me way too long to get it in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you what we got here, and I'm going to explain to you what I did. All right, as you can see here, the pipe is in. It's good to go, nice and solid. To start, what you need to do is just remove these. Just remove all this, get this out of the way, get that out of the way. Unfortunately, you can't remove that, so don't mess with that. Pull that back as far as you can, and then take your bypass valve off. Don't put it on, put it on last, so that when you get in here, you have enough room in here to get your hands down in here. Because what you got is you have a bolt here, right down in here. You can see my finger right down under here, under the left side of the bypass valve, and then you have another one under the right side of the bypass valve. Then you have two nuts. Your one nut is back under here where the intercooler hose mounts to the inlet pipe. You have one under there, a nut, and then you have one right back in here too. I'm not going to say you have to remove your wastegate, but I think if you don't want to damage this, it might not be a bad idea. Pull your dipstick out. That just helps you in the end, and that can be the last thing that you put back in. Now, what I did is I put everything in. I didn't tighten it completely, and I got this one. So there's that bracket that came with it. Okay, this is where the bracket mounts. Now you have to take this rubber grommet here out of your factory one and put it in that, then it screws right into here. Okay, and then you're mounting your 210s for that. I believe, don't quote me on this, I can't remember, but I believe they are 13s, the nuts and the bolts. They're either 12s or 13s, I can't remember which one, but I'm pretty sure they're 13s. Okay, you will need to bend this one and this one as well. Now, I made the mistake in bending it that way first. Bend it towards the passenger side. You're going to have to do that to even get the pipe in. So make sure you do that. And then it comes with 3 hoses. Here's the one hose right here, and the other 2 hoses. One hose goes from the port on the inlet pipe itself to the upper, and then the bypass valve to where the bypass valve originally comes off at. And then obviously the S comes up here. There used to just be one little short one right here, so they give you this one. Make sure you have it as a W and not an M. That goes for this as well. And once you get everything in, get all your hoses put on, make sure everything's right, then go back in and make sure you tighten everything back up. Self-explanatory here. Again, it's pretty much self-explanatory how to do it. Now again, I did not have instructions. The app wouldn't let me download them, which was okay. It was a pain, but I'm hoping that me explaining this to you guys helps you out. Hopefully by the time you go to install it, that you'll be able to download it. But again, make sure you move all of this that you can freely work in here. Now it came with pieces to take this off and to reclamp it, and then a thing to stretch on this. Now mine was already like that. I did not have to use it. I was able to just run one wire under there, one wire here, one hose here, one hose under there, and didn't have to mess with it at all. In fact, I even have a little bit of play left here. So it might be different for newer models, I'm not sure about that. It's not an easy job. It's not a hard job. You just have to be very patient because this is a very tight area to work in. As long as you're patient, you won't have any problems. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And as always, see you in the next one.